What is up, YouTube? My name is Buck. I'm coming back at you today with another freaking video talking about how to get better at Apex Legends, or tips and tricks really of that help me and what I use every day I play the game, and every day I try and get better. I try and keep on using these tips that I've come up with today. So for number one is map knowledge we got, which it seems like very not in depth, but it actually is. So what I mean by map knowledge is know flank routes, pretty much know where you could get flanked from or where you could flank from, basically. Like, say you land at Skull Town, you're the winners of Skull Town. This isn't really, well, it is map knowledge, but go to Thunderdome if there's people who landed there. Mop them up before moving on to, like, say, Market, because if you get into a fight at Market, they're gonna come mop you up because as soon as you get out of the fight. Because say you go to Thunderdome first, mop them up, then you go to Market, you shouldn't have anybody coming from your flank majority of the time if you mop the people out at Thunderdome. So that is tip number one. Number two is find guns that fit your playstyle. Play around with guns that you think fit you better. Like, for just starters, R99, if you want to get really close and personal with the people, it absolutely decimates everyone. And then Wingman, if you want medium to long range, high damage, and that's good for pretty much jiggling in and out of cover. I guess you call it jiggle peeking almost. Like, say you're behind cover and then you jiggle right out real quick. It's good for that because high damage with low friggin' time, basically. And that's pretty much finding your own guns, basically. Like, and then, R31, I forgot. R31 is very good for if you want constant pressure from range. Unlike the R99. R99 is close, high damage, real quick. Unlike R301, which is medium damage, but longer ranges, high pressure from longer ranges. And then getting on to our third tip, we got how to win more gunfights, basically, which what I mean by that is pretty much knowing how to take the fight, knowing which fights to take if you're the one engaging. So, first tip on how to win more gunfights is your aim, obviously, but that is kind of hard to get used to. But that goes right in the second tip that I said right before this: find your gun that fits your playstyle. If you want to get good with that gun, keep on using it and master the recoil pattern or whatever, so and so. And then high ground is another way how to win more gunfights, because if you're on high ground, you're always going to be looking down at them. It's going to be hard for the opponents to be getting cover unless it is at same height, or if it's a huge ass rock covering your field of view on them. But that's high ground right there, which 90% of the time you're going to be looking at them. Like, say you're at Artillery Tower, you're looking down at 90% of the people right there. There's barely any cover. Another tip on how to win more gunfights is basically know when to take them. Like I said before, nade first is another big thing. If you pre-nade, like go in first with a grenade, push it heavily if you play aggressive, is a good way, because they're going to be moving away from that grenade if it's in their vicinity, and you're going to be pushing them at the same time. They're going to have to either take the damage from the nade or get shot at by you. That's how I like to play it. I always open up with a nade or something whenever I push hard with my teammates. And then number 4, getting into that one, is improve reaction time. I know that's another one that's kind of hard to improve, but how I like to improve my reaction time is, another way is go in Apex, play very, very aggressively, because you're going to be forced to try and react quicker if you get yourself into more fights. And try not to loot as much. I mean, yes, get your loot and get the hell out of there is what I'm saying. You want to loot, but get the loot that's necessity. Like, personally, with my gun setup is 240 in the primary slot for whatever the gun you're going to be using more, and then 160 in your secondary gun, depending on what it is. And then the rest is meds and frags and arc stars and then thermite grenades and all that good stuff, basically, because that is going to help you win a lot more stuff. But getting into reaction time, push a lot of crap, get yourself involved in fights instead of sitting back, and not taking fights, because that's it's gonna get you more wins, but you're not gonna get better at the game because you're not taking fights. You're not gonna be fighting much. Like, say you always sit in the back, wait until there's 2 squads left, and then you come out and then fight the final squad. Yeah, you're getting kills still, but you're not getting experience with winning gunfights and getting reaction time. So that's how I like to improve my reaction time. And then number 5, we got better movement, which is obviously have better movement, but try to get better movement. Like, some tips and tricks for that is, if you notice whenever people like legends run, especially Wraith, their head ducks down when they go to run. So if you do that, it might juke out the player and be like, oh shit, he's good doing that. And then you stop real quick. Basically, it might help you a little bit, because aiming for the head, it drops your head a little bit mid-fight. Same like when you're mid-gunfight, when you have to reload, instead of sitting there, try running, sliding. If you're on a hill, you move quicker. It's going to be a lot harder for them to track you with their aim if they're already reloaded. You reload, press A to jump up real quick, and then I've done it so many times, I don't know if it's in the gameplay, but that should help you survive and get that reload off. Other things are jitter peeking or jiggle peeking. That's another way. Like, say you're behind a box, you have no armor, this guy has armor, and you're baiting his reload basically. You're making him shoot at you while you pop in and out of cover, and then once he reloads, you peek and just decimate the guy if he's not hitting you, if he's trying to do that. Other movements is, I forget what it's called, but crouch jumping, I guess. Like, say you run, slide, and then jump up and crouch. It's every 2.5 seconds, I think, or every 2 seconds you're able to do that. And that will help you, because if I do that every time I'm running, every other time, because it's harder to hit you if you're running and you're getting aimed at, honestly, is what it comes down to. And that's a very good movement strategy to start with. It's very easy. Just implement it every time you're either running or in a fight. Not always in a fight, but it helps sometimes. But like that running aspect where it dips your head down when you run, that's a very useful tip to use and a very useful strategy. And then getting on to the 6th one, really, it's all in playtime, honestly. You get a lot of playtime. You sometimes should get skill, but it's not like that for all. But I appreciate you guys coming out to this video. I spent a lot of time trying to get gameplay and stuff. I hope you all enjoy, and like and subscribe, or I will be coming to your house later tonight and I will find you and I will make you smack that subscribe button. All y'all have a beautiful day. Thank you guys. Have a great one. Adios.